Alright, kind of a response video to a few conversations out there. I guess I'll start with the violence thing and fake Sagan's bullshit. It really seems like he's just trying to orchestrate something, you know, just for the hell of it, just for the lulz, fucker. And yeah, and violence just isn't a funny subject. It isn't a subject to play with. This sick psychology of people dependent on it is just grotesque. You know, this whole perception that no, the world hasn't changed, we can all have the same fucking attitudes, we can still get pissed off at each other, and it's no problem. It's a big fucking problem. There's no way to take these equations into the future. It is it is substantially unsustainable. It is impossible. Okay, you can't do it. You can't sit there and describe a future of 6.5 billion people who don't like each other much, living in a future with greater technology. It just doesn't work, because we can create our 50-cent drones to go kill them. And as individuals become more powerful, the same psychology will take over. It's just so stupid for people to get engaged in this conversation like they need to somehow defend their rights with violence, because as soon as they have that psychology, you're fucked. It has no future. We have to get over it. We have to get past it. And you're just a demonstration that we're nowhere close to being ready to do that. And so you know, this is just part of the doom hanging over us. Is this dull, stupid, idiotic mentality. Alright, and this whole argument that, okay, so there's no political solutions. It's just such a crock of shit. People try nothing, they make no efforts, and then they whine the system isn't working. You know, you've got to make the arguments, you've got to win the arguments. Okay, that's a burden. People are working on that. But that, you know, there's not much you can do. There's a lot of stupid people out there, and they're attached to their dumb, ignorant, lazy ideas of what reality is. The simplistic notions that you solve problems with bullets and that you create productivity with greed. It's just stupid philosophies that have got us on the brink of disaster. So anyway, to the Nader jerks, I would just, you know, I'd ask you, the guy really should be negotiating with the Democratic Party for some sort of promises, some sort of, yes, okay, we will. And so I'd ask them simple questions. If Ralph Nader could secure a promise to get a vote on the House floor for instant runoff voting, would that be good enough for you to vote for Obama? Would that be enough? I mean, how much do you demand from the system for your 3 million or your 2 million or your 1.5 million or however it is now constituency? I mean, or do you just want to throw it away? Do you just want to throw it away in a futile fight to the end that'll mean absolutely nothing? You just lose, period. You throw your vote away and it means nothing. I mean, it really pisses me off that Nader didn't bargain on the first election. He can't ask for 17,000 things. He's got to make it pointed, and he's got to sit there and make it realistic. And that conversation, that negotiation has to happen right here in public. He can humiliate the Democratic Party if he makes a rational proposal to them. But if he says, no, you have to do everything that's in my platform, well, no, you're not going to get anywhere that way. So what is it? What exactly would Ralph Nader have to negotiate? What deal could he get that would satisfy you, all right, that you accomplish something? Or do you don't care? Is that as far as it goes? You just don't care. You just don't mind throwing your vote in the wastebasket and accomplishing nothing with it. I mean, fuck, this is such a stupid conversation. Alright, now on to Nick. I did these Doom videos, and I don't fundamentally disagree, but I think he's got to point this thing better, more specifically. What exactly is the catastrophe? Because theoretically, everything that's in place now, everything that's happening right now, where you work, how you live, everything, could just stay the same. There's no intrinsic force saying it can't happen anymore. There really isn't. The only force saying that, okay, is the system breakdown. It's because the system is going to pull the rug out from under the system. But I mean, it doesn't have to. It's only because the control mechanism will break down. But the fact is, it all could stay exactly the way it is. And what's going to pull the rug is the rich are going to want their money back. They're going to see a risk to their wealth, and they're going to try to reclaim their wealth. Okay? And they're the ones that created this false wealth in the first place. They're the ones that create all this uncollateralized wealth, this artificial stock market bullshit that has devalued all your money theoretically. There's a built-in devaluation that hasn't been realized, and it won't be realized until the money starts getting pulled, when people start trying to hoard their wealth, reclaim their wealth. That's when everything falls apart, just like it did in 1929 or 1930. And so this, that's the disaster. That it's not something that has to happen, and it's only going to happen because these rich fuckers created this bullshit system in the first place. I mean, Nick mentioned bankruptcy. Well, what happens when bankruptcy is just the perfect example of, now there's a piece of uncollateralized debt, essentially. That's another piece of the self-destruction, because once people start declaring bankruptcy, then people can't get their assets back, they can't get their wealth back, and then they don't have the money that they had. They collateralized that money to invest it in the stock market, and now they don't have the money to support those investments, so they have to pull those investments out. And that's how this whole thing falls apart, is that all this uncollateralized perception of wealth, all this on paper wealth, the rich are going to try to claim that paper wealth, and they're going to fuck you. All right? And it's so stupid that people can't realize this. This is the evil of having a system run by greedy fucks, because that's what they have done. They have destroyed the structure of your economy, but only in the way it's managed, and it will only crash because we allow them to claim these false and fake gains, these gains on uncollateralized loans. Essentially, they borrow money and invest it in the stock market, then claim the assets, the gains from those investments. And so that's it. That's how artificial it is that the stock market goes up because more uncollateralized money flows into it. And the more uncollateralized money they can shove into it, the richer they get on paper. And now they're going to try to take it out of your pocket. So yeah, I mean, look, there's going to be this equation of who's going to get how, depending on how this thing crashes, who's going to get killed. The people who've been responsible and saved some money, or the people who've been irresponsible and allowed the rich people to essentially buy their soul. The devil has bought their soul, and they've acquired a huge debt, and that huge debt that they aren't going to be able to pay. And it's the same with our national debt. It's just complete irresponsibility that we ever allowed it to get where it got. And now, who's going to make it mean something? Well, the people who are going to make it mean something are the rich, because they're going to try to claim that wealth. So just be clear on who's going to destroy this economy. It's not going to be the working man. It's not even going to be the guy who has some debt. It's going to be the wealthy who wish to claim that wealth. And if we just sit there and refuse to let them reclaim it, if we just sit there and simply say to them, no, we'll go back to 1970. All your gains from then are bullshit, okay? You create this false market, you create these false bubbles, and now you want to collect all the gains off of them? Fuck that, all right? So let's just go to a 90% tax rate. Let's just soak the fucking rich hard, because that's where all the bullshit lies. Let them pay the price for this crash. They are disposable. I mean, they really are, okay? They're not the real meat and the working core of our economy or even our society. They're just blood suckers. So you're going to have to make a choice. So you're either going to watch poor people and the middle class get destroyed and start shooting each other, so the rich can live in their moat, surrounded mansions, their protected enclaves, and just watch the carnage. Or you can make the choice to say you're going to defend people, human beings, and you're going to say fuck you to the greedy bastards who have created this obscenity. They did it. So anyway, there's no way to wrap all this stuff up coherently, I guess. I took a shot at it and I didn't do too well. But really, violence is no solution. There are political answers. We really can. They're out there. There's ways to just restructure the system. We can still have competition. We just don't have to have insane fight to the death competition. We can have competition that creates productivity, that makes everybody more efficient and more competent, but at the same time doesn't create any blood, doesn't create any damage. Damn it, we can do that. We can create sensible, civilized rules. But if you're going to keep idolizing and hero worshipping these fucking greedy bastards who have found a way to manipulate the system, and even worse, the ones who have inherited the tools to manipulate the system, god damn you, then you get what you fucking deserve then. If you're going to make that sacred, you deserve to live in hell. And that's where you're going to live.